Hello! Today we are here to discuss Sprocket Forge. This is one of the surprise purchases that I made at Gen Con.
It wasn't a surprise when you see these gears.
Yeah, well, you know, it's shiny. So, before we get into this discussion, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down there so you can follow along with all of our
shenanigans,
hijinks, shenanigans, ne'er-do-well activities, and shiny gears. So, Rob, what can you tell us about this?
Brand new game came out this year, 2025. Overall rank on Board Game Geek is 12,681. I'm kind of surprised. It's a pretty good game. Yeah, rated 7.5, so it's a good rating, though. Plays 1 to 5 in 69 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, pardon me, for ages 14 and up. Designed by Ananda Gunarante. Apologize if I jacked that up. Art by Tyler Edlin. Published by Sophisticated Cerberus Games, which is a cool name for a company. MSRP.
They did Stifling Dark, too, which we reviewed previously.
MSRP is $69.99. Now, Card House had a little bit cheaper at $62.99, but the best price was Miniature Market at $55.99.
All right. So let's talk about the quality of components. Now this is the upgraded version. There's a standard version where you have plastic gears, which work fine, and then wooden bits to replace the shaped different resources. But beyond that, everything else was the same. So the standard version, you could play it just fine, but why would you when you can get these shiny metal gears?
The metal gears are just super cool.
Yeah, they stand out.
They really do.
And I was walking past this booth and I saw these metal gears
and
I'm
it's like immediately stopped.
Yeah, I turned around and I'm like, yeah, and they only had 2 copies of the upgraded version left.
I can just picture Randy going.
There was a guy right behind me that was looking at it as well, and he was going to buy it. I know he was going to buy it with the metal gears too. So I got my copy. It was one of the final 2. Other than that, you get like I mentioned, the molded resources, and these are really cool looking. The paint job's not the best on them. The fire could have been a little better. The cards, they have linen finish. They're small, the small size cards, euros. You've got little punch-out tiles and gears.
You got a metal first player token.
Yeah.
Which,
you see that?
Yeah.
Which
Alan did some Princess Bride jokes off that.
Yeah, but yeah, it just sits in front of the first player.
Y'all weren't listening. He said a lot of Princess Bride jokes, and they were all very funny.
So, you know, and it does have an inlaid board, which it doesn't really need, but
no,
it's
but
nice.
It does help with the gears, so that they can.
Well, yeah, you definitely need a hole for the gear. But I'm talking about it has an inlaid top at the bottom and top, but you know, and then there's like a little paper stock, which has also got a linen finish, player like cheat sheet. Then there's 2-sided because there's an advanced game. And I think that all in all, for the upgraded components, I'm probably going to go ahead and give this one an 8.5. I probably would have gone 9 if they'd done a little better job on the painting on the fire. But you know, it's pretty nice, especially those metal gears. On the standard one, I'd probably do an 8. I mean, it's definitely playable with the plastic.
Oh, for sure. I think either way, I mean, even though obviously the metal gears are a step up, a 9 with the metal gears, probably an 8.5 with the plastic, because it's just too cool.
Yeah.
I never saw the plastic pieces. Well, I don't guess you have them.
Yeah, no, I got them.
Oh, well,
I took them all out and put them in the box that the metal ones came in.
Well, they're shiny and they make me happy.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a solid 8.7.
Okay.
Solid.
Is that like an infinite 7s? All right.
Take it how you want.
As far as the theme,
the
theme is completely layered on. You know, these gears represent production cycles. There's no reason it has to do with gears other than the fact that the gears turn.
Oh yeah, it's gimmicky, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty. It's shiny. The art is all pretty much iconography on the cards and on the tiles. There's nothing really special about the theme. I'm not even sure if there was any kind of backstory in the rulebook.
It kind of feels like a steampunk.
No, there's not.
Feel to it.
Adjacent to steampunk.
Yeah, there's really no explanation
I mean, if you look at
for
the
the back
box
history.
too, it's pretty steampunky.
Yeah.
You say so.
I mean, the art's pretty, and I guess the art is represented on the player boards underneath. It's not bad. There's nothing outstanding about it.
No, not really. And the mechanics don't really fit the theme either. It is what it is.
So I'd probably give this a 6 with the base game, 7 with the advanced pieces, just because the gears stand out so much.
Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough art to really kind of escalate it any higher than a 6.5, 7. So.
Yep.
Okay.
She agrees.
Moving on to the rule book. So the rule book, it's got a cover. It matches.
Hey, it's got a rule book.
Somewhat, yeah, pretty much the cover of the box. 16-page rule book, but the last 4 pages of it are the solo play. Mm-hmm. It's got a fleshed out solo games to it. Goes into the introduction, has the components and quantities of everything. That's nice. It has victory conditions, what it takes to win the game. Basically, you play to a certain score. And then your setup, which the setup in this is super easy because you just basically shuffle the decks and lay them out on the board, and then put your pieces into whatever mechanism you like to use for storing pieces, and you set up your player board with gears in it. The component goes through and talks about the anatomy of what your board does, the gears, and the cards. The gameplay, it's only roughly 4 pages, 5 pages long. Yeah. And the last 2 of those are examples. So it's a really easy game to learn and a really easy game to teach. There's not a lot of material about it. Now, what we did find that was lacking in the rule book, I mean, these cheat sheets work nice for the most part, but if you had any questions about the advanced game, because the advanced game adds variable player powers, there's no reference for those.
Right.
And we had some questions about them.
What was the advanced rule? A separate page than the book?
No, the advanced rule is 1 page of the book. It's on the very back.
That was one. Okay, there.
And all it does is tell you what the icon is for the active versus the passive abilities of your rules, your special rules, and how you get to flip dials, to the other side. But as far as your own personal player board, we had questions about how some of them worked, and there's no reference for them at all. So
I don't remember having many questions.
Adam had some with his.
Well, and mine just was worded weird.
Yeah.
So if there was something that maybe kind of gave an example or something, it'd have been easier for me to understand it initially.
Exactly.
Once someone else read it out loud, it kind of clicked.
Yeah.
But reading it to myself, it didn't click.
Well, I felt like Adams, he had 2 that really should have been 1, because it had a passive ability that just said you play your cards in sequence, and it's like, well, you pretty much always do that anyway. But it was special with his was he had a penalty if he didn't do that, and he played like one that he finished a mission that was already later in the path. So he had an impetus to do his in order. But yeah, it was kind of weird how they broke those rules up. And as far as the rules, though, they do a pretty good job of getting you into the game quick. And this is not, I wouldn't call this an easy or entry level.
No, it's not entry level, but
medium.
Like the medium.
Yeah,
or
it's on the lighter
medium.
side of medium.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not something that I would be a starter game for moving someone into board gaming.
So what did you score?
I'm probably going to give the rulebook a 7.5. I probably would have given it better if it weren't for the fact that these advanced rules, they really needed a little more clarification. All right, moving on to gameplay. So gameplay, you're going to start out the game with 2 gears that you've got. All your gears are always there, but there's centerpieces that go on gears that have the icons on them, and you draft those starting with the first player. You get 2 of those to start the game. And you're going to get 1 of each resource type that goes in your top, which is the exhausted pool.
Right.
And then you're going to also get a basic mission and a merchant mission, kind of like orders to fulfill.
Or contracts, yeah.
You start your turn. You have 3 basic choices on your turn. You can produce. When you produce, you get whatever is facing down on each dial in your production. So right now I've got water and I've got 2 empty spots, so I wouldn't produce very much on this one.
But initially, your 2 gears, you can put them
Yeah.
wherever you want, and so you would kind of knowingly put them down where you're going to produce something
Exactly.
on the first turn.
And then after that, you are going to take your production that you've got and try to complete contracts, which easily the starter one that you get has just 1 resource of any type, so it's very easy to fulfill that one. But all it does is give you a gear, so you get another one of these to put into another, or one of your gears, and it's going to allow you to get more production in the future. So you want to arrange those. So, because the dials, as they turn, they've got arrows showing you the way they orient, in case you have any confusion. And you'll know, like, okay, when I turn the gear at the end of my turn, which you always have to do, it's going to put this one in that spot. So you want to try to get it so that you maximize your return. So that's kind of one of the strategies of this game, is trying to take advantage of the production when it's optimal for you.
Right. And I think that's what some of the element of the strategy is. Even when you first draft those gears or you get new ones, how am I going to place that so that it's advantageous the first time you activate it?
Right. And then once you do the action, everybody else at the table gets the option to follow. And when they follow, they don't get as powerful an ability. So in the standard game, if you produce, they would get to take any resource of their choice, 1 of it. The advanced game is different. It lets you trigger 1 production site that you have.
Well, they say the active production site, so it's 1 facing down.
Yeah, it's always what's facing down. So you would get that production, and it would go automatically to your mana pool until your turn comes around to you. Then the other option is you can just rotate your gears. You always have the option, no matter which one of the things the person does, that you can rotate your gears. For this, the next one is plan. If you plan, you get to take 3 more contracts, if you will, from the pool and add them to your supply. And it also allows you to wipe out resources that you've put into your exhausted pool, which is important because you've got to manage that pool. Because if this ever fills up and you have to put more, they are negative victory points against your score.
And then not only that, you can be strategic on how you get rid of them, because there's an action where you can take other people's.
Yes.
And you can get rid of ones that you know that they're wanting to get. So I guess a little bit of hate draft, the opposite of hate drafting, is get rid of stuff that you know your opponents want.
If you want to have people help get rid of your stuff, you might want to put ones they do want to get them to take them from you, so you can clear your pool out. Because keeping that down is important for 2 reasons. One is, like I said, if it maxes out and you overflow, you're going to lose victory points. But also, another action you can take is petitioning the houses down here. And in order to do that, you have upper limits on how much garbage you can have in your recycle bin.
And the more you have, the less points you get for petitioning the house.
Yes.
They all have some pretty cool abilities, but it's that limiting factor of getting 4 or 2 based off of how much you got at the top.
Yeah. So if you plan, everybody else can choose to take a random merchant just right off the top. Just they got to take it blind, or they can remove 1 exhausted mana from their recycle, or they can rotate their gears.
Mm-hmm.
If you petition, which is again paying you actually have to use these favors,
which are always
victory points from 1 to 3 on them. You pay it, you get to trigger the one that you fulfill the requirement of having only that much mana in your recycle bin, if you will, and you can you get the power of the card plus the victory points on top. And anyone who follows has to get the victory points only.
Right. And they still have to pay a favor too, so you're losing a victory point to hopefully net gain more.
Yes. I kept drawing 3s this time, which was not a bad problem to have, but you didn't want to use them to...
I don't think he shuffled very well, because I kept drawing 1s and 2s.
I only drew them once in a blue moon, so they were not together when I got mine.
I drew quite a bit, and I drew all 1s except for 2 of them. My last 2 I drew were 2s.
You won.
I did. I'm not crying.
Yeah. All right, so that's basically all the actions, and once somebody reaches 30 points, that triggers the end game. And the end game, then you finish the round back to the first player, and then you go one more round around the table. And during that round, nobody can follow you.
And you got 2 really important free actions that you can do as well.
Oh, yes.
So the one that I particularly took advantage of my last turn was that you can disenchant, which is get rid of one of these rings, and you get all your stored mana, which we haven't talked about yet, as well as you get to activate a printed production value.
Yeah.
And story mana is whatever mana you don't use at the end of your turn, you have to put up here.
Yes.
Or you can put it on these empty spots, which is kind of saving it for later.
Yes. And you don't get that back until it rotates around to be your active production location. And then if you take an active production, then you can pull it back into your mana pool. So that's basically that, or you can also refresh a market. That's another free action. Heather likes to do to irritate us. So you just wipe all the cards from whichever row you want, or you can do the sprockets, and you can then reset it with 3 more. And if somebody's trying to store up goods to get one of those things or what have you that's clear, they telegraph their move. Heather
or
can
just a jack
irritate you. Yeah.
It was more fun when I was the last player before Randy had his turn. Because Randy likes to complain. You suck! Is his favorite thing to say when we play.
No, it's just in general, you suck. So that's basically all there is to the game. It's a very simplistic game as far as being a resource management game, if you will. But as far as, it's still a lot of fun watching the gears turn and making decisions about where you position things.
And then taking advantage, once you're doing the advanced rules, taking advantage of your special ability.
Yeah.
I really took advantage of mine. Mine was really good.
And I think that's my biggest complaint, because it feels like some of these are not balanced.
Right.
It's too early to call on it for the advanced game, but the one I had starts with a negative 15 victory point penalty, and it didn't feel like it was more powerful than your guys's to make up for losing 15 victory points at the end that I had to try to get rid of. But it's kind of until we know for sure. I may not have taken advantage of it to its fullest too. There may be ways to milk it for better.
Especially if you maybe got some really advantageous
if there were better cards that came up that I got, maybe.
Did you still have to meet the exhausted mana
condition?
I
could ignore that.
You could ignore that. Okay, well
So
that's powerful.
That's good.
But I couldn't use it when I'm doing these. It was only for triggering the ones I had. I went.
Yes.
Yeah. So it didn't gain me anything on just a standard turn. And then the game rushed so fast at the end, I couldn't get rid of them fast enough to get rid of the negative 15 victory points. I got down to negative 5, but the game happened to move really fast there at the end.
So overall, what would you score it?
I loved this game, and not just because I won it last time. I think it's a 9. I really liked it because it's not complicated. Unlike what y'all both said, I do feel like this would be a good introductory game.
You think so?
I do, because you're just filling orders.
When we say introductory, we're talking about somebody whose experience is Monopoly and checkers and Sorry and that kind of thing.
I guess I was there so long ago, and I had Corey to teach me that maybe I'm wrong, but...
Oh, I guess I suck at teaching is what you're saying.
Corey's very patient. You just keep talking until I can't
It takes a lot of
anymore.
patience to put up with Heather, trust me.
Okay, so
say
maybe it's not a gateway game, but I don't think it would take very long into someone...
I don't think so. No, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a gateway. I think there's enough meat to where someone who's never really played games a lot might feel a little intimidating. Like, how do I put my gears? Where do I put it at? Oh, what do I do? I don't know what my
It's not
next action is.
Tuscany.
I love when you talk like in the third person, Rob.
Robert does this. So, but anyway, I personally, I like it quite a bit. I liked it the first time. I liked it with the base rules, but I liked it more with the advanced rules. It added just a little bit more meat, which gave it a little bit more tension, which is what I appreciate. So I think this is a solid 8.5. I like it.
And I guess I'm low man on totem pole here. I like the game a lot too, but I'm not at 8.5 or 9 level. I'm probably at 7.5 to 8.
It's because he's gotten beat so many times.
Well, no, it's just, first of all, anytime you introduce variable player powers, it makes me nervous. I like variable player powers when they're done well, but I've seen them not done well so many times that I notice it very quickly when there seems to be an off balance to things. Tapestry and
but at least with Tapestry, they try and fix it.
They try to fix it, but some things you just can't fix.
Well, one of the things is you can only do it when it comes around on your sprocket, and
he calls it the frog leg ability.
But but that's the active one. I didn't even get one of those the whole game. You know?
So we didn't get to do.
I'm really the only one that did it. I think.
I did. No, the one time that it came around into my active space, I didn't.
And maybe that's why. Maybe if I had gotten some of those,
something I could do that.
I call the frog legs. They were kind of like 2 lightning bolts that were shaped like frog legs. But if I would have gotten that, mine actually is pretty powerful. There, it's a gain 3 mana from an active sector and add 1 mana of that type to the exhaust.
Oh.
So it would have been 3 free mana when it happened. But I never saw that because I never got that lightning bolt.
Alan's was pretty good. Once per turn, you may pay the entire cost of an order using the stored mana from a single enchantment.
Yeah, so you don't have to disenchant.
He wouldn't have had to disenchant to get it.
Yeah, but the thing was he had a penalty if he didn't disenchant. So he had an offsetting thing.
Yeah, there's always some kind of negative to using those special abilities, but mine, I could do an order twice for the cost of 1 victory point. So I was doing it like I had orders that were worth 4 victory points. So I was getting 8 victory points minus 1.
Yeah.
And getting all this extra stuff too, like more
You should have beat us by a whole lot more than you did.
Yeah, I'm such a loser. So.
Although I will say I did enjoy the theme of mine being that he was blackmailing all his families.
That was pretty funny.
That I liked. So that actually added a little bit to the thematics of the game. I would have actually liked to see more of that incorporated into the game. So yeah, I'll give it an 8 because of that.
Okay.
I think, because it did add a little more flavor to the game and it made it less vanilla.
Right.
But I still love the whole mechanic of the dials. It's just it's very attractive, and it's going to get attention if people walk by.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty to look at. So that's our thoughts on Sprocket Forge. If you get a chance to play it, let us know what you think. If you don't and you want to check it out, it's apparently in the wild now. So. Ooh, so you have to have a net or something to catch it.
Yeah. Well, that and a credit card for shipping address. But this is definitely available to get now, so it's worth a look.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you like the Metal Gears and can find those pieces. If Sophisticated Cerberus has a order site, they probably have them available on their order site, so you might want to check there to get the.
And just for a gimmick, the gimmick is pretty cool. Usually, the gimmick is like, nah.
It's just pricey.
Yeah, it's just pricey.
How pretty the blue ones are. They're
That's what got my attention.
I know.
It's blue and pretty.
I feel like there should be purple ones to go on here.
Well, the base game, they're all gray. So it doesn't matter what color they are. They're all gray.
They got like a purplish tint to them.
It's like hematite.
All right.
There you go.
That's our thoughts on Sprocket Forge. Until next time, you guys keep on churning those gears, and we'll keep on playing. Bye.
Let's do a bunch on here so we can defenestrate them. Or what was the word?
What?
Disenchant.
Defenestrate?
Defenestration. That was the throwing you out the window. That's what that word means.
Okay. Well, it definitely doesn't mean fill your board with tokens.
Just for that, I'm taking one more.
And the horse you rode in on.
That's right.